As a PrEP user for over 8 years now, I definitely understand the significant challenges it takes to access PrEP and remain on PrEP. As I've had times where I didn't have healthcare coverage, trying to access PrEP without coverage, or even with coverage, accessing providers who are knowledgeable about PrEP often becomes a barrier, as well as stigma and misinformation that is out there.
Being so vulnerable to HIV, I believe that people in my community should have the same, automatic access to PrEP.
I think a national program, particularly one that provides education both to patients and to providers, would have made our scale up of PrEP here in Washington State even easier and faster.
That's why, as the Communications and Mobilization Manager, I am excited that our organization, PrEP for All, is leading the charge towards a national PrEP program so that we can have more equitable access to essential HIV prevention and services.
This program, it would just change everything. I think we could officially end the epidemic by 2030, like everyone is promising we're going to.
Experience that I've had from taking PrEP is just really having that confidence that this is something that you're doing for your life, to make your life better.
I'm glad that PrEP for All is bringing advocacy to the forefront, working with other organizations within the HIV community to tell Congress we cannot have these drastic cuts to HIV funding.
We've been so excited to see this progress and this momentum talking about a national PrEP program. We know that if we are going to end it, it has to be by making sure that people who are HIV negative are staying HIV negative through the amazing biomedical tools that we have.
Minority people, poor people are living with HIV, and their mental health problems are not just going to go away. If you cut this funding, you are going to kill people.
We urge the Senate to insist on fully restoring and even adding to the Ending the HIV Epidemic Initiative, the CDC Prevention Program, and Ryan White.
Congress needs to continue the support that made this possible, and there is more that we can do. We must make it easier for people to access powerful prevention tools like PrEP by removing barriers to care like lack of insurance. A national PrEP program in the United States would make that possible.
We launched an ambitious plan to end HIV epidemic by 2030. Proposed new national PrEP program to prevent the spread of HIV. And we finally did away with the outdated policy banning gay and bisexuals from donating blood.
It's been a wild year at PrEP for All. In 2023, PrEP for All continued to lead the fight for a national PrEP program in America, calling for equitable access to essential HIV prevention for every community in America. And we have continued to win. But we are seeing challenges unlike any that we have seen before. We are seeing unprecedented proposed cuts to HIV funding overall. We are seeing renewed attacks on queer communities and communities of color throughout America. And we continue to see the ongoing and insidious presence of pharmaceutical companies at every level of our movement. But we are continuing to fight, and we continue to win at PrEP for All. We have raised the calls for a national PrEP program to the highest levels of government, and we have elevated the issue into mainstream media coverage. We've also elevated the voices of PrEP users and PrEP prescribers and helped to co-lead the fight to save HIV funding overall. We're incredibly grateful to all of our supporters, to everyone who has worked with us, and to all those who donate to support our efforts. PrEP for All doesn't take pharmaceutical funding. We don't take government funding. That means that we are able to uniquely speak truth to power, but it also means that we need your support more than ever in order to keep our advocacy fierce and independent as we head into next year. In 2024, we are going to continue to lead the fight to safeguard HIV funding overall, to ensure our pathway toward a national PrEP program, no matter what comes at us in 2024, and to continue to foster and support and galvanize affected communities to co-lead advocacy toward a national PrEP program and the end of the HIV epidemic for every community in America. Join us, join our movement. Please consider making a generous donation to PrEP for All today.